Hello all. Now we'll discuss Green Revolution, its advantages, achievements and failures, etc. Previously, we discussed this topic in our terminology classes. So please visit our terminology classes to get a better understanding on Green Revolution. Okay, anyways, we will discuss it again in this lecture. So, Green Revolution. So, what is the main objective of the Green Revolution? The main objective of the Green Revolution is to increase the yield with the combination of high yielding variety seeds, irrigation, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, so this is the main objective of the Green Revolution, to increase the yield by using high yielding variety seeds, irrigation facilities, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So this is the main objective of the Green Revolution. This has been taken up by the then government in India in order to ensure food security. So what is the meaning of food security? Food security means accessibility of food, affordability of food. So this come under the food security. So to ensure the food security in India, Green Revolution was initiated in 1966. Right? So what are high yielding variety seeds? High yielding variety seeds are developed by the scientists to improve food supplies and to reduce famine in developing countries. Right? Then these high yielding variety seeds demand irrigation facilities, they demand chemical fertilizers, they demand pesticides. Right? So these high yielding variety seeds require irrigation facilities, more chemical fertilizers as well as pesticides, meaning this Green Revolution is capital intensive. The farmers needs more capital in order to cultivate these high yielding variety seeds. Right? Then now we will study the Green Revolution in two different phases. That is phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 is from is between 1960 to 1970 and phase 2 is from 1970 to 1980. So under phase 1, from mid 60s, that is from, as I said, 1966 to mid 70s, use of high yielding variety seeds have been started. So irrigated states like Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu were benefited. As I said, these high yielding variety seeds need more irrigation facilities. Okay. Therefore, only few states were benefited due to Green Revolution in the first phase. Due to lack of irrigation facilities in other states, they hadn't utilized this opportunity. Right? So then what were the crops that were promoted under Green Revolution? Wheat followed by rice. So initially wheat was promoted, later rice also promoted under Green Revolution. Okay. So these were this Punjab, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, okay, these states were benefited in the first phase of the Green Revolution. So in the second phase, that is from mid 70s to mid 80s, that is 1970s to 1980s, high yielding variety technology spread to a large number of states. And also this benefited more variety of crops, not only rice and wheat. These high yielding varieties were introduced in other crops as well. Am I clear? So in the first phase of the Green Revolution, only rice and wheat are promoted. In the second phase of the Green Revolution, along with rice and wheat, remaining crops are also promoted. And the scale of activity also increased in the second phase. Yes or no? Okay. Now we'll see the advantages of Green Revolution. We have achieved self-reliance in food grains and country became food secure. That means there is a accessibility of food and availability of food as well as affordability of food. So these are the three elements of food security. And this Green Revolution raised the farmers' incomes. And the need to change the land used to agriculture was minimized. As productivity of the land has increased, the need to convert more land for rice cultivation or wheat cultivation has drastically declined due to these high yielding variety seeds. The usage was minimized. The usage of the land is minimized for agriculture, particularly for wheat and rice cultivation. Right? Then, what are the disadvantages of the Green Revolution? As I said, this hasn't reached all the regions. Only areas with assured irrigation are benefited. And groundwater table has gone down. The states like Punjab and Haryana, which were the states in the first phase of the Green Revolution, there the over exploitation of groundwater led to decline in the groundwater table in these two states, particularly in Punjab and Haryana, right? And loss of soil fertility due to excessive usage of fertilizers. So the farmers are not using the fertilizers in a scientific way. Though the soil in few areas of India, the soil are fertile in nature. They don't need extra fertilizer. However, without knowing that, the farmers are using fertilizers. Excessive usage of fertilizers led to the loss of soil fertility. So these are the disadvantages of the Green Revolution. Right? So now we'll see the achievements of Green Revolution. The crop productivity has increased substantially. We know this. India became self-sufficient in food grain production. And India also became an exporter of agricultural produce. Gross area under cultivation raised significantly. And because of use of fertilizers as well as high yielding variety seeds, several areas came under double crop in a year. What is the meaning of this? Double crop means? What is the meaning of double crop? Double crop means getting two productions from a land annually is called as a double crop year, double crop in a year. And increase in productivity has led to the emergence of marketable surplus. Yes. So because of the surplus production, the farmers were able to export to the market to earn more income. Yes. And raising incomes of the farmers resulted in children to take up higher education. Meaning this Green Revolution has raised the standards of farmers. The Green Revolution raised the living standards of the farmers. Then, what are the failures of Green Revolution? It was confined to the production of predominantly wheat and rice only. So this is the major failure. Only wheat and rice are successfully taken up under the Green Revolution. If you look at the current scenario, India is still importing pulses from the other countries. In spite of having a huge amount of cultivable land, we are unable to increase the productivity of the pulses. Still, we have been following traditional way of cultivating methods for pulses. That is why we are importing the pulses from other countries. So this is a major failure of the Green Revolution. The government has to focus on increasing the production of the pulses. Production and productivity of the pulses. It is very important. Productivity means production per unit of land. That is called productivity. So the productivity of our country with respect to pulses is very less compared to the productivity in United States of America as well as in our neighboring country China. Right? Then, as I said, this Green Revolution did not cover pulses, and progress in major commercial crops like cotton, jute, oilseeds also remained very low. Right? More preference is being given to the wheat and rice throughout India. Then only benefited certain areas, hence regional inequalities increased. And mostly big farmers benefited from the application of new technology, and it is also resulted in inequality among the farmers. So inequality between the regions and inequality among the farmers. And increase in farm machinery led to surplus labor led to surplus labor in agriculture sector. So what is the meaning of this point? Increase in farm machinery means, so due to usage of machinery, the agricultural labor was evacuated from the agriculture sector, and they are forced to move to the other sectors like construction sectors, etc. Right? Then because of higher use of fertilizers, pesticides, and several adverse effects have been seen, not only on land but also on environment. Okay? The water is being polluted, the soil is being polluted, the air is being polluted. So because of excessive usage of fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, etc. Okay? And rich landlords became further rich and poor farmers became further poor, because cultivation of high yielding varieties is a capital intensive. It requires more capital. Okay? The poor farmers are unable to afford this type of cultivation. However, recently the conditions are changing, because the government is providing financial support in the form of crop loans for the farmers to take up the cultivation activities. However, these loans are not being given to the tenants. These loans are given only to the landowners. So this is another drawback, right? So in this way, these are the failures of Green Revolution, advantages and achievements of Green Revolution, right, students? So in the next video, we'll discuss the state of industrial sector from 1950 to 1990. So thank you very much.